For over a century, Harley Davidson has meant one thing: raw, thunderous, petrol-powered American freedom. The sound alone is iconic. That deep, rolling V-twin rumble you feel in your chest before you even see the bike. That is Harley Davidson. That is the identity. But what happens when the most legendary motorcycle company on Earth decides to pull the plug, literally, on everything that made them great? Because they just did. And the riding world is absolutely on fire right now. Right, let us get into it. What you are about to hear is either the smartest survival move in Harley's history, or the single greatest act of self-destruction any motorcycle brand has ever committed. The 2027 LiveWire Estuo Del Mar edition is here. And honestly, the moment it was revealed, the internet lost its mind completely. Die-hard Harley faithful, lifelong collectors, riders who have bled orange and black their entire lives, all of them asking the same devastating question: is this the end? We are going to break down every single detail today: the specs, the controversy, the cold, hard truth, and the brutal question nobody wants to answer. If you ride, if you love motorcycles, if you care about what happens to the greatest American brand ever built, you cannot afford to miss this. Let me tell you something. Harley Davidson was not just a motorcycle company, it was a movement. Founded in 1903 in a tiny wooden shed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Harley Davidson grew into the most recognizable motorcycle brand on the planet. 120 years of roaring engines, open highways, leather cuts, and counterculture rebellion. You did not just buy a Harley. You bought an identity, a lifestyle, a statement to the entire world that said, I ride on my own terms. Their bikes have crossed deserts, carried veterans, starred in Hollywood films, and become the rolling symbol of American freedom itself. Think about that for a second. And then in 2019, Harley did something nobody expected. They launched the original LiveWire, their first electric motorcycle, and the backlash absolutely mental. Longtime owners called it a betrayal. Forums erupted. Riders publicly sold their bikes in protest. Sales of the original LiveWire were so painfully slow that Harley eventually spun the entire electric lineup off into its own separate sub-brand, just to distance it from the main identity. But here is the thing, though. Harley did not retreat, they doubled down. And now the 2027 Del Mar edition is the result. Hold on, it gets much, much worse. Or better, depending on who you ask. You are not ready for this. The 2027 LiveWire Estuo Del Mar edition runs on a 975-volt high-voltage electric motor. That is not a misprint. 975 volts. Now here is what that actually means in the real world. This machine punches out 84 brake horsepower, and unlike a petrol engine, that power does not build. It does not rev up. It does not wait. Every single Newton meter of torque hits the rear wheel the absolute instant you twist the throttle. Instantaneous, savage, relentless. The result, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.0 seconds flat. That is supercar territory. That is faster than most sports cars sitting in a showroom right now. Blimey, look at those numbers. Top speed sits at 177 kilometers per hour, electronically limited. And on a full charge, you are looking at 235 kilometers of range. The charging system, 0 to 80% in 40 minutes flat using DC fast charging. The entire bike weighs in at 226 kilograms with the battery pack fully installed. And the price, starting from $24,000, climbing to $27,000 at the top spec. Cracking performance figures, no question. On paper, this is genuinely breathtaking engineering. But wait. No, V-twin! Gone! That thunderous, potato idol that Harley patented. The sound so iconic they literally tried to trademark it, replaced by a soft electric hum. No gear shifting. The mechanical dance between clutch, lever, and boot eliminated. Single-speed automatic, point and shoot. no connection, no ritual. No exhaust note whatsoever, completely silent. The petrol tank, that sweeping, muscular centerpiece of every Harley ever built, replaced by a battery housing module. And the styling. Traditional Harley DNA is almost unrecognizable beneath the angular, modern bodywork. And the community has responded exactly how you would expect. Proper madness, this is. Long-term owners are publicly listing their classic Harleys for sale. Social media is flooded with riders filming themselves trading in their Softals and Road Kings, saying they refuse to accept what the brand has become. Petitions circulating online with tens of thousands of signatures demanding Harley protect the petrol lineup. One forum post that went viral simply read, "They killed the sound, they killed the soul." And that cuts deep, because for Harley riders, the sound is the motorcycle. The vibration is the experience. Strip that away and some loyalists genuinely feel there is nothing left to identify with. But here is the other side of this story, and it is one you need to hear. And guess what? Not everyone is crying. A younger generation of riders, urban commuters, tech-forward enthusiasts, environmentally conscious motorcyclists, they are absolutely embracing this machine. And honestly, they have a point. Zero emissions means you can ride this in city centers where petrol bikes are facing increasing restrictions. In London, in LA, in Sydney, the future of urban riding is almost certainly electric. Harley knows that. The engineers building this machine know that. The maintenance costs tell an extraordinary story too. No oil changes, no air filters, no clutch plates, no timing belts. The mechanical complexity of a petrol Harley dramatically reduced. For many riders, that is not a compromise. That is a genuine advantage. And that instant torque delivery, straight up, this changes everything. Riders who have actually thrown a leg over the Del Mar describe the acceleration as spine-tingling, as genuinely violent in the best possible way, as nothing they have felt before on two wheels. The technology package is class-leading. Connectivity, ride modes, regenerative braking, cornering management, all of it integrated seamlessly. And financially, the electric market could be the lifeline. So here is the big question, the one every single person in this community is wrestling with right now. Can a silent Harley ever feel like a real Harley? Is this the end of an era, or a smart, ruthless, calculated survival move by a brand that refuses to die? Because here is the brutal truth. Harley Davidson is not killing their legacy because they want to. They are doing it because they have to. The global motorcycle market is shifting. Regulations are tightening. Petrol bans are coming. The next generation of riders grew up differently. They think differently. They want different things. And Harley, stubbornly, painfully, controversially, is trying to adapt. That more than anything tells you exactly where the entire motorcycle industry is heading. This is not just a Harley story. This is the story of every motorcycle brand on Earth facing the same impossible choice. Evolve or disappear. That is the most devastating crossroads any iconic brand can face. And right now, Harley Davidson is standing right in the middle of it. Here is where we land. The 2027 LiveWire Estuo Del Mar edition is a phenomenal machine by every technical measure. Jaw-dropping performance, extraordinary technology, a genuine glimpse at the future of motorcycling. But it is not a Harley, not in the way that word has meant something for 120 years, and that is the honest truth. So I want to hear from you right now. Drop your answer in the comments below. Would you ride a silent Harley? Is this a revolutionary leap forward or a betrayal of everything the brand ever stood for? Subscribe to MotoPrestige if you are not already on board. We cover the machines that actually matter. And next up, we are getting into something truly unhinged. One of Europe's most secretive superbike manufacturers just leaked their most monstrous machine yet.